Well, friends, as you can see, fall's finally hit here on the Homestead. This is a view of our driveway going down our drive, and it's about 40 degrees, 40 some odd degrees here in central Alabama this morning. And I think we got some freezing temperatures coming next week. We may miss fall altogether and go straight to winter time. And the work never ends. Before long we'll have leaves to get up, more stuff to do. I don't think I ever showed y'all an update of our little chicken run here. We made a video, if I remember, it's entitled Chicken Coop Bible Study, and this is the outcome here. They seem to like it pretty good. They get to come out during the day and run around some in the yard, and then they still have the ability to go in and lay in their boxes in there, and then they just go in at night and we shut the door. Tends to work out for them pretty good. And this little plastic wire here, I happened to get it at Lowe's. It's not much to it. It's pretty thin. I think it was $24 for a, I guess that's a 4 by 50 foot little section, but don't expect much if you go that route, but it will keep chickens in. Now I don't think it'll keep a dog out if a dog took a notion to get in, but you know, so it's a low cost alternative to fencing. I wanted to give you an idea of the how our rabbit coop is coming here. I got pallets on the inside there. We had to buy the 4x4 post and the pallets for the side. And when I was out of town doing a revival down in South Alabama, I happened to go to a yard sale, and I found some blinds that were on sale at a yard sale. I got 10 sections for 10 bucks. And what we're doing, we are going to use these to help keep the rain and the cold out a little bit, and we wanted something we could roll up and down. And for $1 a piece, we thought that was a pretty good deal. So we have put this section on. We're going to put 2 sections on the front, 2 or 3 or 4 sections on the front, and then of course on the other side as well. And we just, I don't know if you can see it, but we just put a tarp on the roof. We are in process of coming up with our roofing material, probably shingles, but it was getting a little damp on the inside, so we went ahead and put a tarp up. Let me introduce you to our rabbits. I don't really give them names that I know of, because all I know them is dinner 1, 2, and 3, and I say that in jest. But this is one of our girls here, and this is another girl in the back, and this is our fella we got right here. And we did have one baby born, but unfortunately it didn't make it. So we're hoping to try again, because the long-term plan is for us to double the space of this enclosure if we have to, because we want to have meat for the freezer. That's the long-term motivation. And again, we've learned this on YouTube and just trying to kind of figure out what to do and both what not to do. But the whole enclosure, probably, I built the entire thing probably for less than, if you count the one rabbit cage I had to build, probably 75 bucks maybe just a little more. But we try to use as much secondhand stuff as we can, because it cut down on costs that way. And these pallets at my work, they have a lot of these pallets, so I pick them up and use them. And we've got our compost pile here made out of pallets as well. and we're hoping to turn this over next year to our garden and see what happens. Well, here's a picture of our garden, and it's getting colder it gets, the more our stuff's dying off a little at a time, and you can see some of the stuff we have. I'll just take a walk here in the garden and look around a little bit. You can see our crimson spineless okra here, and it's still producing. We've let it go to seed, and I tell you what's the truth, I think I'm gonna have to cut some of this out with a chainsaw. I want you to look how big those trunks are on that okra. But we have been able to harvest a good bit of okra this year. Then we're trying Brussels sprouts out. Never grown that before, but we're gonna give it a shot to see what happens. And over here on this side, we got some lettuce going. And of course, my wife knows about all this stuff here, and I'm continuing to learn just a little bit. We got some spinach growing in a container, and we got some of our pole beans coming up, our beans rather. And I tell you, that okra has probably been the biggest producer we've had. We've been able to harvest some for the freezer as well as give some away to some church folks. And we are blessed to be able to do that for sure. And then of course over here we had some English peas, and I tell you, they were so sweet. I mean, they was like eating candy, like honey. And we had a little rabbit get in here, and I'm not as young as I used to be, and I can't see quite as good, so I tried to send him on into Neverland at night time and happened to miss him, so I've got an appointment with him here for long. And you see down there our cauliflower. We're giving it a try. Never grew it before. Well, as a matter of fact, none of this stuff we've grew before, to be honest with you, but we're trying. Our rattlesnake beans on the back, just about done with. They've produced pretty good. We got a little bit of lemongrass in the very corner there. And we are blessed just to be able to have the garden and work in the garden. And then over here we have we have another type of lettuce going, and we have our lettuce and we have our carrots in the container there. A couple of blueberry trees, and hopefully next year they'll give us some blueberries off of them. And to kind of give you an idea of what we're planning, you'll see down below here is another terrace, another flat part, and we've got our ground cover on already. So we're going to extend our garden out that way. And then at some point in time, we're going to try to at least triple the space, hopefully next year, to try to have a bigger garden, because our long-term goal is, like so many other people who take up homesteading, is just to produce as much of their own food as possible, and not to have to rely on the stores and so forth and all these chemicals and junk they put in them. So that's kind of a picture of our garden, and we worked hard this year. We've got one grapevine going, and planted it last year, or planted this past spring, I guess. And so that's a picture of our garden.